From vending machines to washing machines to gumball machines, the United States quarter dollar is one of the most commonly used coins in circulation today, and we are going to be talking about its history and everything you need to know about it. I'm Spencer from SFM Coins, and here's the ultimate guide to the United States quarter dollar. Be sure to subscribe for more. In 1796, a very famous and popular engraver named Robert Scott was given the opportunity of a lifetime to design the first ever American quarter dollar coin. From 1796 to 1805, the Draped bust quarter dollar was minted. It is made up of 90% silver and was minted entirely in the Philadelphia Mint. These quarters were actually slightly larger than your modern quarter, which didn't last for too long, but they are actually quite large. This quarter has two varieties, the small eagle and the large eagle. In 1796, the reverse had a small eagle inside of a wreath. This is known as the small eagle variety, and it only lasted for 1 year. The US Mint then took a break from minting the US quarter, and were discussing a redesign. In 1804, the United States Mint decided to continue making the US quarter dollar. This variety is called the large eagle. As you can see on the reverse, the eagle is a lot larger and actually has a shield on its chest. This coin was minted from 1804 until 1807. I personally think the smaller eagle actually looks better, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, which one do you prefer? The US Mint once again took a break until 1815 when the capped bust quarter dollar was made. It was designed by John Reich and is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. There are two varieties of this quarter, and they were all minted in the Philadelphia Mint. The first variety is called the larger diameter variety and has a diameter of 27 millimeters. To put that in your perspective, the modern quarter has a diameter of around 24.3 millimeters, so it is quite large. Variety 1, the large diameter variety, was minted in 1815 before the mint took a break and resumed it in 1818 through the year 1828. Variety 2 is called the small diameter, which, you guessed it, has a smaller diameter. They reduced the size to 24.3 millimeters, which is actually the current size of all US quarters. This variety was minted between 1831 through 1838. The motto, which is commonly seen on all US coins, E pluribus unum, was also removed from the reverse. As you can see in variety 1, it is still there. The total mintage of the capped bust quarter dollar is approximately 1.3 million over its 21 years of production. In 1838, the United States contacted a man named Robert Ball Hughes and Christian Gobrecht. These were the two men who designed the seated Liberty quarter, which is the next quarter in line that was minted in the United States. This quarter is made of 90% silver and was minted between 1838 and 1891. It was minted in the Philadelphia, New Orleans, Carson City, and San Francisco Mint. It had a mintage of approximately 17.5 million, and there are 5 varieties that were done during the minting process. Variety 1 is called the plainback. From 1838 to 1853, there was a variety called the plainback, and there's actually 2 different varieties in the plainback variety, these being the drapery and the no drapery, as well as a small date and a large date type. Variety 2 is called the arrows and rays. Variety 2 has arrows next to the date on the obverse and rays around the eagle on the reverse. These were only minted during 1853 before the mint changed their mind. In 1854 and 1855, the US Mint decided to remove the rays, but keep the arrows on the obverse. There is still arrows next to the date on the obverse, but there are no longer rays around the eagle on the reverse. It seems like the Mint was confused on what they were doing during this time period, because from 1856 to 1865, Variety 1 was recontinued, and they discontinued Variety 3. But then once again, in 1866, Variety 4 was created. This variety is called the motto variety. From 1866 to 1873, the variety adds the motto E pluribus unum above the eagle on the reverse, and also removes the arrows next to the date on the obverse. In the years 1873 and 1874, the Mint changed their mind once again and added the arrows back to the obverse. The Mint being the Mint, and I'm not surprised at this point, Variety 4 was resumed from 1875 until 1891, and the arrows were once again removed. 1891 ended the era of the seated Liberty quarter dollar, and now a new quarter dollar had to be designed. In 1891, a designer named Charles E. Barber was contacted to design the new quarter dollar for the United States of America, and between 1892 and 1916, it was minted. These quarters were minted in the Denver, New Orleans, San Francisco, and Philadelphia Mint, and are made of 90% silver. There's actually no special varieties of these quarters, and they're actually pretty common if you look on eBay and other coin dealing sites. Going right along to 1916, where the Standing Liberty Quarter was invented. The Standing Liberty Quarter was designed by Harmon McNeil and was minted in Denver, San Francisco, and Philadelphia between 1916 and 1930. These quarters were made of 90% silver and come in two varieties. Variety 1 being called the No Star variety. If you look on the reverse, this variety has no stars below the eagle, and it was minted between 1916 and 1917. However, in 1917, there was a redesign, and there was 3 stars added below the eagle on the reverse, and this was minted between 1970 and 1930. In 1932, the Washington quarter was made. This is the quarter that everyone sees in public, and was created by John Flanagan. This was designed in 1931. These quarters were minted between 1932 and present day. However, there was tons of varieties when it comes to these. These quarters were minted in the San Francisco, Denver, and Philadelphia mints, and were made of 90% silver up until 1964. And then from 1965 to present, they were made with a copper-nickel alloy. Variety 1, being the one a lot of people know to this day, is called the Classic Eagle Reverse. This was made in 1932 through 1975, excluding the year 1933, which no quarters exist, and again from 1975 to 1998. Variety 2 is called the Bicentennial variety. In 1976, the Washington quarter had a reverse design change, which shows the drummer boy on the reverse with the dates 1776 through 1976 on the obverse. This was minted to celebrate the 200th birthday of the United States of America. Variety 3 is known as the States Quarter Program, in which the Mint released a program which all 50 states had their own quarters that were minted through 1999 through 2008. These are very common to new collectors, and you can actually buy a folder where it shows a map of the United States, and you can collect all 50 of them and put them where they go on the map. It's actually very cool and a great way to get into coin collecting. Variety 4 is called the DC and Territories Program, in which 6 quarters were released showing the U.S. Capitol, aka Washington, D.C., and 5 territories of the United States, them being Puerto Rico, Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Samoa, and the Mariana Islands. Variety 5 is called the American Beautiful Program. From 2010 to 2021, the U.S. Mint released a program called America the Beautiful, which shows the wonders around the United States. There are 56 varieties showing landmarks from all over the United States and their territories. They're some of the most beautiful quarters you will ever see, and you can actually get a folder to collect all of these as well. In 2021, the quarter was redesigned once again to show George Washington crossing the Delaware on the reverse. This variety is called Crossing the Delaware. And then Variety 7 started in 2022, and it is called the American Woman Program. It is actually continuing to this date until 2025, and it shows a bunch of historic women throughout the United States. And it is made to show celebration and remembrance for all of these American women through the United States history. And that is it. That is an in-depth guide of the United States quarter dollar. I hope you guys enjoyed and you learned something new. My name is Spencer from SFM Coins, and please, since this video took a while to make and do all the research on, I would appreciate a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time.